Look, perhaps we could come to some kind of agreement? What if I told you about a large shipment of gold and weapons? Oh no, I'm no fool.
Who's there?
You'll learn what you need to know once we've come to an agreement.
Who's there?
Enough to make a significant difference in the war.
Who's there? You did pretty... Who's there?
Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is iRyeni, that's IRYENI, and then you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of Modded Monday. We're on week number 203 now, guys. I've picked out 5 new mods for you guys to check out, and perhaps add them to your load order if you find them interesting. But like always, before we jump into them, I want to remind you guys that I'm partnered with Gamersups, which in my opinion is the best energy drink on the market. So if you're looking for a better alternative to those gas station energy drinks that are really bad for you, try out Gamersups and use my link down below. You can also use the code RTD for a 10% discount on all your drinks, and I'd also love to hear what you guys think of the drink if you end up trying it as well, so let me know in the comments down below. Now that all that's out of the way, we can jump into this week's mods, and starting us off we have the Cinematic Dragon Soul Absorption mod. Now the mod page reads that you can now absorb dragon souls with a male valiant shout and epic build music followed by a cinematic explosion of power. This mod adds a hidden spell to the player at the start of the game that is automatically used whenever absorbing a dragon soul. It renews the Dragonborn's strength and adds a new explosive soul effect, and you also float 5 feet above the ground for a moment as you're absorbing. So now every time you stumble across a dragon and defeat them, epic music will start playing as you absorb their soul. You'll then float 5 feet above the ground for a moment and then hear a valiant male Dovahkiin scream. After being done with that, more epic music starts with the soul absorb notification. There's also different versions of this mod that you can use to compensate for whatever type of character you have. So I have the male Dovahkiin on right now because I'm playing as a male, but if you have a female character, then you'll want to download the female Dovahkiin scream. So overall, this is a very simple mod that just adds a new animation into the game for every time you kill a dragon. It just looks a lot cooler and you'll be able to see yourself absorbing the shout, which I think is really awesome. So if you're playing as a true dragon hunter and you want to add a little bit more of a cinematic style to your game, then the Cinematic Dragon Soul Absorption is definitely a mod I'd recommend downloading and giving it a try for yourself. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have the Talos Housecarl Armor Pack. The mod page reads, at the end of the Second Era, Talos, or Tiber Septim as he would later be called, was forging his legend and securing his place in history. At only 20 years of age, this great warrior had rapidly climbed to the position of general. But that was not enough for such an ambitious man. As the years passed, he would eventually be crowned Emperor of all Tamriel. And standing by his side from the very beginning, even before he was appointed general, were a handful of his renowned and skilled Nord warriors, known as his personal Housecarls. These fearsome warriors would help secure every victory credited to Talos, leading his vanguard even when the man himself was commanding the war efforts from the safety of the imperial capital. And then when the Third Era began, he commissioned some of the greatest smiths from across the new empire to forge a set of new armor worthy of his loyal Housecarl. Now the new items that have been added with this armor mod include the Housecarl cuirass, boots, gauntlets, Housecarl helmet, the stag helmet, the bear helmet, the shield, the cape, and the bear cape, as well as the shield cape and hammer. There's also a warhammer that's a 2-handed version, and all of these need to be crafted under the steel section and require the advanced armors perk to access. The stats on these pieces are based on the steel plate armor, and weapons are based on glass. All items excluding the capes can be upgraded, and they're all race supported. So I really like how this armor looks. I think it looks really badass, and especially the way that you can mix and match different types of armor sets. So if you're looking for some new armors to wear on your character and you like the way these ones look, then I definitely recommend downloading the Talos Housecarl Armor Pack and becoming a true Housecarl yourself. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have a very simple mod, but it's jam-packed with a bunch of other mods together. This is called the More Useful Assortment mod, and it's a compilation mod of all the mods that I pretty much feature in my load orders. There's a couple that I don't here and there, but in majority, all of the ones that are in here are already in my load order, so this just saves us so much room in terms of modding space. So this mod includes the More Useful Ingots mod, which is a very simple mod that allows you to craft hearthfire things at the smithing station, and overall just give you more uses to the ingots that you find throughout the game. And then the Unread Books Glow mod does exactly what you may think. It just makes it so all the unread books in your game will glow a specific color. You can also customize this so that only skill books glow, only spell tomes glow, or only quest books glow, so it's a really good mod to use if you're looking for all those skill books out there. And after that, we have the Dynamic Camera mod, which is featured in here, which is my go-to camera mod for everything. All of these third-person angles, my FOV, everything is based off of the Dynamic Camera mod, and it gives you a customization spell at the start of the game that you can use to change how your camera looks, and it's just a perfect mod for anyone that needs to alter their camera. On top of that, you have the proper aiming mod in conjunction with the dynamic camera mod here that just makes it so third-person aiming with these new camera angles actually works properly. Another mod featured in this pack is Splendor Dragon Variants, which just adds new colors to all the dragons that you find throughout the game so that they look a lot better. And then also you have the Rupture and Craft Soul Gems mod, which allows you to do exactly what you may think, rupture and craft soul gems. You can find soul gem fragments around the world, and you can also break down soul gems into fragments just that you can use them for crafting more. Following that, we also have the 60 FPS menus mod, which is a mod that I can't play Skyrim without. I have to have 60 FPS menus on everything, and if I end up ever removing the 60 FPS menus mod, I always say, why are the screens so slow to bring up? Because just the overall UI and everything to navigate is really slow in vanilla Skyrim, and once you download the 60 FPS menus mod, you'll never want to go back because of just how fast it is. Now there's 3 more mods to talk about in this mod pack, such as the Hearthfire Homes, which is a mod that just changes all of the homes in the Hearthfire DLC to be better and more useful. And then you have the Obsidian Mountain Fogs, which does exactly what you may think again. It just adds new fogs to the mountains to make them look a lot more realistic. And then finally you have the No Enchant Restrictions, which lifts all restrictions on enchanting so that you can pretty much do whatever you'd like. So all 10 of those mods that I just talked about and explained to you are jam-packed into one 1.79 megabyte mod. And this is the More Useful Assortment mod, and I think it's a perfect mod to add to any load order that you may have where you need all these mods together, because now you have 9 more slots to include in your load order because all 10 of those mods are jammed into one, making it take up 1 space instead of 10 in the list. So this mod is very true to its name, and it's very useful, and that's definitely why it's featured here at our number 3 spot, so I'd recommend downloading it. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have a mod that I had so much fun playing with and testing in this video, and that's the Rustic Weapons pack. This mod adds 53 new rustic weapons to the game, and these weapons appear being wielded by NPCs, sold by merchants, inside chests, and directly in the map as world objects to be picked. They are indeed simple and rustic to make your Skyrim experience much more immersive. This means that fishermen will now attack with oars and rods, children use their wooden swords, beggars use iron fence pikes, and you'll see pirates using harpoons and small anchors. Elder housekeepers will attack you with their brooms, merchants that sell food will attack with a cleaver, same as a chef, and stable owners and carriage drivers will now attack you with shepherd sticks. Farmers use farmer scythes, hay forks, pitchforks, rakes, blacksmiths use blacksmith hammers and tongs, clothing vendors use scissors, and bards can even use their lutes to attack. These are just some examples of the overall 53 weapons in the game. Now some of these weapons like scythes and the biggest part of hunter axes and daggers and anchors can all be increased at the grindstone as well, so you can keep upgrading these weapons that you find. All of these 53 new weapons have specific speed settings, attack settings, and sounds, and they just add so much more immersion to your gameplay. I also had a lot of fun messing around with these new weapons because some of them are a bit ridiculous, like adding a broom into the game that you can use as a weapon, but other things like being able to help out the people at the blacksmith trying to, hammer out some of these things, that didn't really work out too well. And even when I try to sweep up the streets of Whiterun, they don't seem to like that too well either, but all jokes aside, I think this mod's really cool and it adds so many new weapons to use in the game that you'll pretty much never get bored, and that's why it's featured here at our number 2 spot, so I'd recommend downloading the Rustic Weapons pack. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have the Yeomville Estate, which is a new player home located in Falkreath behind the guard barracks. It features a player home that's built with new custom meshes and textures. There's several containers to stock your stockpilings along with weapon racks and displays. There's an alchemy workbench, enchanting workbench, cooking pot, and more. Beds, a new soundtrack for interiors, and remastered music tracks from the old Craig Manor mod, as well as several new items including new weapons and shields, as well as your own ebony mine. But don't just take my word for it, let's actually tour around the house and view the Yeomville Estate in its glory. So as you can see, this is an amazing house mod, and I really like that whenever you walk in from the outside, at first glance you look at the house and it doesn't look like it's going to be too big, but then once you step foot inside, that completely changes and you see a whole bunch of new rooms that you can go into, as well as if you head down the stairs, you have your own ebony mine, like I said, which is pretty crazy to have in a house. But overall, everything's structured together really well, and it looks beautiful, and it's decorated really nice, so what more could you want out of a house mod? And that's definitely why it's featured here at our #1 spot, so I strongly recommend downloading the Yeomville Estate mod. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions there as well. Special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.